Pep, welcome to Lisbon. After a couple of rounds with a couple of teams that were new to you, different locations, is it nice to be back in slightly familiar territory? Good memories here.
And bad ones.
But 2022 was a good one the last time you were here.
Yeah, but the previous one was so tough. Yeah, it's what it is. That's nice to be in Mediterranean countries. No, the weather, they said, is not exceptional, but it's nice to come back. Europe is nice to fly in other countries.
Have you pulled out that game from 2022 as a reference point for this, or how have they adapted?
But a little bit, it's the same manager. The parties are quite similar. They change players. But yeah, and that game was easy, but we arrived in the first half 4 or 5 times. They scored 4 or 5 goals. So we were so clinical. But I think they improve. And we are a little bit in problems right now.
Ruben Amorim. Obviously, the name has suddenly sprung to a lot of people's minds now. Obviously, he's going to the Red Half Manchester.
Yeah, I saw Sky News, and it was, quite there.
I spoke to him earlier, not to embarrass you, but he said you are the best coach in the world. I've heard you speak highly about him. Is tomorrow night the start of some epic battles between you both?
I don't think so. I think from outside, I don't know him, but from outside, he looks like a lovely guy. So when I see him in the dugout, and he behaved much better than me. I'm really pleased I come to England, to play United, and of course with a lot of respect that I think both clubs has in the hierarchy. And I said, the managers will be in this way this season.
Tomorrow night is obviously his last home game. Is it hard to play against emotions sometimes, and is that something that your team have prepped for?
Yes. Of course, the last game will be emotional for the players. The Champions League play, in Champions League against us. So, yeah, it will be tougher in that sense. But I think it's a football game, 11 against 11. And we are going to try to defend as less as possible and play our game.
What shape do you all arrive here in?
Them or our squad?
Yes, City.
We have to accept right now that we are going to deal every game with tough circumstances. A deal that you have to suffer. For many reasons, as everybody knows, we are not our best, and we have to overcome the situation, accepting, because during the process for many years, and especially this season, always you have up and downs, and you have to accept, especially hopefully in these 2 games that we are going to suffer, and as much you accept it, that it will be better.
Is that all you can really do within 2 days? Kind of accept it and hope that the team rise to it in the next game? Because what can you physically do?
No, it's not about the physicality. It's about here. Physicality intervenes in the certain points. But when you are prepared to accept that the circumstances are more difficult, and I would say that prepare mentally that still winning games give you a joy, give you a dream to continue to be there, everything can happen.
Bernardo Silvas spoke very passionately about feeling like they weren't good enough the last 2 games. Do you sense there is an edge to them, a focus to them, that they really want to get back on track tomorrow night?
Listen, I have huge respect for Tottenham and Ange and Verdon, and well deserved to win with us, but that competition is completely different. And what happened? We are not circumstances to fight for all the titles, and Carabao Cup is completely different. We lost a game against Bournemouth because what they deserved to win, because they were much better in the game like we are. We were not prepared. Like I said before, we were not ready to know that we arrived there in a difficult circumstances. You had to make an extra things that we are not used to do, that should do it, and we were not able to do it. And this is what you have to change immediately. After win or lose is not the problem.
There's so many different aspects to this game tomorrow night. I'm sure you are just obviously focused on the actual game itself, but Hugo Viana as well coming to Manchester City. Will you find the time to go and see him?
I would love to say hi after the game, definitely, because I didn't see him, I think, never ever. And I said hi and welcome, say welcome to a magnificent club.
There seems to be a lot of good stuff happening within Portuguese football at the minute.
That always happen. Portuguese football always have been they have incredible recruitment, the chance to to buy a lot of players for South America, especially Brazil and other parts of the world, and always have been top managers You know, Jose Mourinho is a big example, and the other ones. And look, Ruben, how young it is and how good he has done it. And always players, you know, top players with the national team, how quality they are with one of the best players ever, like Cristiano Ronaldo. And I work in Barcelona, in Munich, I don't remember, maybe. No, so, but here with a lot of Portuguese players, I have incredible memories. I like to work with them. They are so competitive, lovely guys. So all of them. So that's why, it's for many years always Portugal has been a really, really good country.